Right, I think we're live. So today we're feeling a little bit more optimistic again because I think we had said that we wanted to have something by Friday, which is tomorrow. And I think yesterday we felt pretty dejected on the day before, but we made a bunch of progress yesterday. I think we're continuing to make progress today. So we are going to try to implement one feature today. We don't have a ton of time because Ryan has a hard stop in about 40 minutes. So we're just going to try to burn all the way through. And we're going to see how we go.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about a bunch of things probably as we wait for GPT to do stuff, as usual. So, but yeah, so Ryan, before we even start, let me just show you the thing that I saw, which is OctaKit slash. Okay, this is long. You probably need to be typing somehow. This is part of OctaKit, the GitHub JavaScript plugin, I think.
Okay.
It's called plugin dash create dash or dash update dash text dash file.js.
Oh wow, that is long.
I did warn. Anyway, okay, look, it's just think of it as a sentence, but instead of spaces, it's got dashes. Okay? Plugin, create or update text file. .js.
Create text file.
For anybody watching, I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but I guess it's like if you have other platform you prefer, we are live on Twitter, on Rumble, and on YouTube. On Rumble, it's by my Twitter handle, Alexander Sam. On Twitter, it's Twitter handle, Alexander Sam. And on YouTube, it's on Bootstrap AI, which is probably the moniker we're going to be trying to build up. And I think if the reason why we called it that it doesn't resonate with you yet, I don't know what you're doing here. But basically, what we're doing, for anyone who was just watching this, me and Ryan are just working together on this, and we're building a what we think is a better ChatGPT user interface. The better part comes by the simple feature of it being able to improve itself according to what you just describe to the LLM. So you can basically send a prompt that will make you a better version of the user interface. That simple. That means that any other feature you want, in principle, you could just kind of describe and get. That's the first level, awesome. And the second level, awesome, is that we want to make it super easy for people to contribute, which means that they can send us these features and we can put them up. And really, I mean, that's the reason we thought that we can not only we can build this, but we can stay ahead. Because if we make this and it's decently good to begin with, to have a decent sized community form, then the next thing is that we get enough momentum to stay ahead. Basically, even if OpenAI starts building features, so long as people keep contributing to our thing, or some variation of the thing. I'm sure there's going to be forks or whatever if we're lucky. It doesn't have the problem of small team trying to keep up with big team anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what we're building. And we've been building this for a few days. It's been kind of fun to figure out what the difficulty of it is, the difficulty is always the same, which is to figure out how to get the LLM to produce viable code. That's one. Actually, okay, what are the difficulties? This is one difficulty, right? Viable code. Two difficulty is to sort of pare down our demands instead of just trying to build all the things. Is to restate our objectives to fit within that, the window we can shape for ourselves. And then what else has been the difficulty? I think honestly, once we have these two things under control, seems we can fly through, because all the code in this system, I think it's true. I think all the code has been written by the LLM. There's like nothing that we have handwritten. Not because we haven't coded, we can't code. But I mean, who knows? At this point, maybe we can't.
Speak for yourself. I've lost it.
But look, the official story is we're doing it because we just want to get better at doing it, right? So we want to dog food the process as we're building it in order to guide the process, right? So because if we were to say like, hey, you can make the LLM do improve this for you, but we have actually done it differently, well, that's not that convincing, right? The point is that not only can you make the LLM improve this for you, but everything you see already has been made by the LLM, which is kind of awesome. So I guess the second level objective here is not just to build the editor, but to build the way to build the editor, which is of course always the thing. Yeah. Okay. So with that intro, you found the plugin?
I have.
Does it make any sense to you? I gotta say, I looked at it a little bit. It didn't make too much sense to me, but I'm not
It makes sense. Also, what we're doing, isn't that far outside the realm of. I mean, this does save us probably 20 lines of code, so sure, let's use it. But here,
okay.
I'll share my screen here.
I mean, the other approach that I was seriously considering is iSOGIT, because honestly, with iSOGIT, you just do a put. Like it's not. You don't have to deal with authentication, whatnot. Like you just put your username, password, whatever it is. I assume GitHub hasn't turned off their HTTP authentication endpoint. And to the extent iSOGIT can use it, you can just literally just do you can do it in a very simple way of like putting in your SSH key in the browser, and using it, right? Like, so it will look very similar to the OpenAI API. It'll be fairly intuitive, but we haven't done iSOGIT, so whatever. Let's try this for now. Yeah. If it's simple.
Yeah. So here's our library. We probably. So I'm going to use this.
Does it create branches?
No.
I see.
I'd say for the scope of today, let's just do the worst thing possible and commit to main.
Oh my god. I see.
Let's live dangerously.
No. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so here we are. Button.
Okay, so you're saying keep going. I'm just going to describe. What you're doing is you're saying, hey, I'm working on this code, and you're putting in the source. By source, that takes basically what's on the right. Sorry. It says I would like to use the OctaKit plugin blah to have a button next to spawn. Copy that called commit, right? That will commit the console of the editor to index.html or on the repo for the project. So basically, this will make it we can sort of make a certain version official.
Yeah.
It doesn't give us sort of tree style progress, but it gives us linear progress. And to the degree that me and Ryan don't get our signal wires crossed, it'll enable the kind of experience we sort of want. I mean, it's so reductive that I'm kind of fuck it. Let's just run with it, and we'll get there. I guess if anybody else uses this, the way they would use it is fork the project, right? Run it themselves, do this a lot, and then send us a PR.
Precisely.
Okay. I feel a little bit better now.
Boom. Okay.
All right. So, how long do you think it's going to take?
Excellent question. I did tell it to only give me the changes.
Yep.
Make sure it's season 4, max tokens 400, temperature 1. Ooh, that's going to be bad.
Yeah, it's going to be really bad. It's going to be unusably bad, actually.
Yeah.
In fact, it makes me wonder, like, have we tried it with temperature 0 for a long time? Like,
I have personally tried it with temperature 0, and I have found that temperature 0 is too low. Like, I want some of the variance. Temperature 0, it'll basically, if it makes a dumb mistake, it'll keep making that dumb mistake over and over again. So I usually do like 0.2 or 0.3.
Is that the sweet spot for code, you think?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get back to, benchmarking things at some point. I mean, I like these recursive processes. I always love them because they focus the mind, right? They don't, there's so many directions we want to go in. And I am more guilty about this than most. What happened?
Oh, wrong model.
What do you mean wrong model?
It didn't pick up the model config.
So is that a bug?
Yeah. Okay.
How could this break?
It might just have been broken. We might have unknowingly been using GPT-3 for a couple iterations. Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's hard coded.
Ha! Le manual bug fix.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He doesn't even like actually fix it.
No. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I follow. When you shoot it over, maybe we'll.
I really wish the network thing would monitor even when I didn't have DevTools open. That would be great.
Yeah.
Do you know how to undock DevTools? There used to be.
There's a button somewhere, isn't there?
There used to be. I thought it used to be like. Anyway. There we go. All right. So now we're making the request for the actual GitHub thing. And I'm just going to go over here to check that worked. Yep. Okay, so now we're back. Anything to say while we're waiting for Mr. GPT-4?
Give me a sec because it's just lost its mind. Okay, I think I got it back on track.
It is quite incredible how variable the response time is. Even I've noticed with the API, even with short things, and I mean you notice it in ChatGPT too, right? It'll sit there for 20 seconds before it gives you something back.
Give me a sec because it's just, man, I reached a point with the thing I'm trying to do where it's just it just can't keep the thoughts straight in its head.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know why. Like, it's perfectly capable of it. I'm just trying to get it to make one example that looks good and has all the good stuff in it. Man, hopefully it'll. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay, so let me share this. Let me share my screen, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get the code back now by now?
Yeah, I'm putting it
Okay, let's do one more cycle with yours, and I'll go back in.
All right. So we got. All right. Well, it looks okay.
Okay, so wait. What's going on? Tell me. What am I looking at?
What are you looking at with me right now? You got this personal access token, organization repo name.
Right. I mean, we probably need to do it the same way. Then the commit should be above, and there should be a button that has configuration below, right?
Yes.
Of course, Alex. What else? What did you think? I am some sort
Make
of
it work, then make it pretty.
This isn't whatever. I'm not even.
I mean that's basically what I asked it for, just not so specifically. Yeah, not so specifically. I mean that's the same process we went through with the toggle configuration panel stuff. So we'll get there. So I'm gonna go.
I've got a storm of UI requests to make, but let's just do your thing first. And
yeah.
Okay, just send your next request.
Well, I'm testing this functionality right now.
Ah. Wait, what do you mean? What functionality?
The functionality to get it to commit to the GitHub repo.
Ah, did you get your personal access token or?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Got it. Okay. Oh, I'm with you.
I have to remind myself how to do that. Navigate to developer settings, personal access tokens.
We should have a help screen on this that is just another window.
Yeah.
Just another chat window. I mean, sorry. Clearly not here. Dun 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 dun. Drum roll. Will it work? So okay. So once you get your personal token, you're gonna put it in. We're gonna try, and there's a chance it might commit to master. At which point, oh my god, he just got up and left. What did he see in the other tab that drove him to madness? Huh?
I had to run and grab my phone for a 2-factor auth.
Ah. Well, that explains it.
And of course.
Of course, what?
Well, it's telling me they sent you a verification request to the mobile app, and now here I am in the mobile app, and there's nothing there. So I'm going to use my password, I guess.
I have unleashed a prompt on Twitter that is just amazing. What's happening?
Got it.
So wheat.
I go back over here.
Okay, let's see.
Hopefully it was smart enough to treat this as a password field. Yes! Sweet. Okay. Not leaking my personal access token to live streams. Okay. So I put that in, and let's see what happens. Error. OctoKit is not defined.
Oh, see that? CDN.skypack.dev at octokit/core seems a bit of a weird CDN. Fair enough. Spawn? But the personal access token is not stored.
Yeah.
This is so much more professional than we were doing a few weeks ago. I feel like we would have leaked your personal access token 5 times by now.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, commit. What happens? Still, OctoKit is not defined.
I mean, just tell it.
Yeah.
Just tell on it to itself. I like that you're typing it out there. Somehow endearing. Okay.
Just gonna put the actual right path so that whatever it's doing, it'll do it with the right path.
Okay. Shall we?
Yeah. What are you doing?
All right. Can you see this?
Yes.
Great. If only I could find the tab that it's in. Got it. Okay. So basically, the idea is that you have a diff that looks like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this looks pretty simple. It's kind of the point, but it's hiding a lot of features. So I basically made this morning as I was my God, man, like Sam Altman, get control of your team, man. Anyway, so the first feature it has is that it's multi-file, right? You can express a diff over multiple files,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's a YAML file, right? So the first level is just the files. The second level is your selector within the file. And the selectors are, in general, to do with, they're like CSS style selectors, let's call them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is the most obvious. That should make a lot of sense. Like you go to the H1 style and you find the color attribute and you replace whatever value is there with this one, right?
Yep.
Next up in HTML, you do div hashtag hash old dash div, whatever, right? And you just put a new div in there, right? Just replace.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is you find, a specific insert point and you do insert before, right? So that's a different way, a different operation. It doesn't replace anything, it just inserts.
Sure.
Or you do, P first type. So you basically find the first paragraph and you delete it. True, right? So we've seen that, and the cool thing is that the way I've done the selectors, the idea is that the last one, at least, maybe all of them, but definitely the last one, can be a template literal, like this. I don't know if it says function greet $1 console log hello plus $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say replace name. So basically, whatever that was, now it's becoming name. This is interesting because it actually changes in two places, right?
Yeah.
But it also articulates it like this, which is something that you can, in fact, you use parsing languages to do.
Yeah.
Right. And again, if it's simpler, you just say my variable new value, right? So if it's the idea is basically if you are replacing something as text, you can use text matching. If you're replacing something as an expression, you can just do this. And the idea is you can mix them, right? So you can be like, go into this function and find that line, right? So you can say function name greater than, and then the match.
Yeah. So is the idea here that we would have some sort of a runner for this YAML?
Yeah.
Or is okay.
Yeah.
So the idea is to make that this becomes a procedurally doable thing.
Yes, and I've sort of I've got high confidence that it is doable.
Sure.
Now, if LLMs can understand it, you could imagine asking 3.5 to do it, but I don't think that's going to be needed.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the specification, Evo patch, blah blah blah. Oh, it knows the name, the date. That's new. Before, if you asked it what date it is, it would complain about how it doesn't, whatever. It's so basically, I mean, let's look at what this is, because I think it's an important little. There's a lot of little details here about what isn't here really. The first thing you don't see is numbers, right? You don't see go to this character, go to that line, or whatever, right? Because LLMs suck at that, Like they just can't keep track of like counting. So by doing it this way, you're helping it work the way it thinks, right? And secondly, it's tiny, so it's really helpful to be able to like it doesn't cost you that much to do that, right?
Right.
And it also helps that humans can understand it, which means that um, you can actually check what it's trying to do. What else? What else? Okay, so YAML. Yeah, I mean YAML is good because YAML is good, but also YAML is good because it's it's not JSON, so it doesn't have all the extraneous symbols that are tokens basically that you're paying for.
Yeah.
That's why I chose that. We talked about the selectors. We talked about the operations. Patches are applied in the order they appear, right? Which means that theoretically you can insert one thing and then have another command that modifies the first. That's your example there. Yeah, the Evo patch format is designed to be simple and intuitive, both for humans and AI systems. However, the actual efficiency and success in applying the patches can vary depending on the complexity of the files being patched. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyway, that's what I did. It's extremely straightforward. There's really nothing to it, and kind of that's the point.
Yeah.
But what you're not seeing is that this is basically reducing all of JavaScript, CSS, and HTML into a tree, and SVG, by the way. Oh yeah, and I had this idea that we can even do Markdown if we conceptually are operating on its HTML form.
Wait, say the last part again.
So this assumes we can find a two-way converter of Markdown to HTML and back.
Sure. Yeah.
So what you do is if you spotted a Markdown node or a Markdown file, right, is you'd convert it to HTML, apply the change, and pull it back.
Yeah.
Because again, I want to use the simple selectors, right? Find the fifth paragraph or whatever, not the navigate this big, find the code elements or whatever. Not So the Markdown syntax itself is not really helpful for that. But if you convert it to HTML, then it's you can use the same tricks again. I don't know if there's a two-way Markdown converter. I wouldn't be shocked if there is, or if it's fixable. But like the reason
there's shitty ways to do it. They're not perfect. Right?
Go on.
I mean, just a handful of times I've read. I can't remember exactly what I was trying to accomplish last time I did it, but I was trying to go from HTML to Markdown. As ChatGPT would say, this is quite a complex task that doesn't, it would blow V8 for a little while and then give you a subpar answer. And that's basically what this
right. Anyway, so the reason I wanted Markdown, however, is because the idea is of it being multi-file here is that it can do a whole project, right? So the dream for me at least is if you ask for a change, it can give you a complex diff that applies to all the parts of the project. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it. That's what I got. Yeah. So I mean, we will integrate this into the project eventually. Right now, it seems we have found enough sort of workarounds that it's probably not necessary. But yeah. Not necessary yet, but is. So that's what I got. Yeah. I don't know if you have any particular insights, or do you have your code back?
Yeah, in fact, it works.
Okay, show me.
I'm still sharing. You just have to make me visible.
Very convenient.
There we go. So here we are. Notice my URL bar is bootstrapai.github.io. I published that from over here, which is my local host. Not only my local host, but it's by blob of the local host. So I did a full spawn, check that it works, and then committed it from itself. So now it's running from GitHub Pages. So now I'm going to fix your UI stuff.
Yeah, so for anyone watching, you're trying to make it put the commit button in line with a spawn and copy, and then have a second one, which is like toggle configuration panel. Actually, Ryan, maybe there's like one configuration panel for everything.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
I want to do that in 2 steps, though. I'm going to make this change and then say combine the 2 configuration panels.
Okay. What blew up?
Chrome extension. We're fine.
Okay. Okay, this is feeling like it should feel, right? This is feeling like we would expect to feel. Shall we try to do we have time? No.
I think we got time to get this change in. That's about it.
Yep. I mean, that's good. That's that's almost an alpha.
Yeah, well, what's exciting, right, is that it is the full loop, right? You can make
Yeah.
a change, do a spawn. Like, we can almost get rid of copy, right? Because copy was the midway point,
right,
on our way to commit.
Well, and what I was thinking is that now that we've got this, the next thing to do is work on this div format, which I did, so that it and if we can get it to reliably deliver us results in that format, then we maybe we even stick it in the system prompt, like what the format looks like, and we basically start implementing the code to do the application, and then it kind of shows you what it's going to do to the source code in the source code editor or something, like kind of gives you like a candidate or whatever. Like it goes semi-manual or semi-automatic if you like.
Yeah.
Right. And you like, yeah, cool. Okay. And then once that is reliable, we can just remove the source code editor or hide it, right? Like have it as a thing you can consult with if you want to like do something like what you did before with the URLs, but not necessarily have to think about.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why everything should be in the same configuration file, actually.
Yeah. We need a soundboard with Jeopardy music.
But that's all that's going to be playing.
Right.
Yeah. So okay. So let's talk this through. So what you do is this loads up, right? You configure it with your GitHub law, and then.
So to reiterate, anyone who you and I will be able to do this because we're both part of the Bootstrap AI organization. Anyone watching who wants to try this out will have to fork their own copy of the repo and be visiting it from their own GitHub page. And then they will create a.
So they will fork it. They will run it as a GitHub page as well. Do they have to do something about that, or by forking it, it'll just be automatically?
They'll have to change a setting to actually get it to publish to the GitHub page.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All of that is fine for now, but yeah. So they'll have to set it up a little bit, but once they do, they can basically just make all the changes they want, and then send us a pull request.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, this is 1 week's worth of work, and all totally what's the word? Sort of making sure we can break through to this level, right? And then the next week, I guess, is going to be automations and experience. So not having to apply the patches by hand, not having to make a repo, not having to even go and fetch a personal token, right? Maybe it should be like some sort of pop-up series of pop-ups that shows up here, et cetera. But we have to break through this barrier here of size. Like, I mean, the next thing we should do really is not even that, is to do the whole like minification on send bit, and then fix the diffs in receive so that we have absolute minimum back and forth with the LLM, so maximum speed. And then start working maybe on automated application of the diffs. And other sort of quality of life improvements from there. But I think the primary thing is to make it snappy. Like you ask for a thing and you get it back. And keep going. By the way, this chat with GPT thing has to go. Hey ho. What happened?
I gave up.
What do you mean?
I wasn't monitoring the network log when I initiated the request, so
Got it.
Started. It was taking too long, so I was anticipating that it had fucked up something in a way that I didn't see because I wasn't looking.
Got it.
Yep, which is exactly what it did. Not provide an API key. Oh, that's right, because I didn't provide an API key because I'm using this from Bootstrap AI again.
Oh, look at that.
That would be important.
Yep. That would have leaked. Actually, you should change it.
It didn't leak the whole thing. Only
enough determination. What's a little brute forcing among friends? Start the you didn't start the thing, did you?
No, I didn't. Sure didn't.
What?
It's going. It's in flight.
It's a flight.
See, okay, now I've leaked.
Excellent.
All right, you guys have until the end of this call to abuse my OpenAI account. I should probably at least make it a little bit harder on you by not having that on the screen.
Yeah. Do you want to put your access token in there?
Say what? Oh, sure. Just so we're ready.
I mean, the thing we need to do is make it store it as well in local storage.
That's what this request is. That's what this change request is.
Oh. Wait. Okay. But for now.
But for now, yes, I should go back over here. Tokens. Generate some tokens. All right. So message, that's all for the other stuff.
Okay, so now you are trying to apply the changes it told you to make. You're doing the thing that code will do in the future, but for now it's fine. I mean, it is shockingly faster when you don't ask it to do everything for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so right now our chats look terrible, but that's definitely another frontier that we're going to be liberated to follow soon.
Okay.
This can't all have just worked. This is too much of a change. How do you feel about sending it all your code and saying, is this what you mean? Not convinced, I see.
No, not convinced. Not bad.
I mean, not good either, but yes.
Just said success, so we go there, and there's a commit just now.
Yay! All right, so I guess if you refresh,
I go back to my original one and refresh. It does take it. It'll take about a minute before it goes live.
right? Actually, you know what we should do? Not now, but we need a little loop in the back that starts pinging.
That like encodes a hash, like a known thing that it'll tell us when it actually is live.
Yeah. It's okay. Like, you know, remember the double tick that was in some chat messages? I think WhatsApp does this, where it's like sent and received, you know, like you sent it, but they saw it, sort of thing. Like so the one is going to be like when you commit it, it's going to be one tick, and when it gets uploaded, it's going to be a second one.
Yeah.
Though I guess the ideal is that it just refreshes, like, you know.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to be a bit abrupt. It might be.
It's not saving properly, but
it's not saving properly.
Yeah, it's not saving to local storage properly. But unfortunately, I do have to run.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing we need to do, I think, as soon as we're back, is to. I mean, maybe I'll do it right after this, or maybe tonight. Like to make the prompt into the commit. I think that would be. Big touch. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, and please run, and everybody else. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. I'm thinking of I'm gonna do an interview. I don't know if I'm gonna like live stream that as well, but we're gonna do a work session too. So tomorrow I think we're just gonna polish this. And you know, like kind of evaluate what we got, whether it is something that we are, you know, we're feeling it's accomplishing its objective. All right, so thanks for hanging out, and see you tomorrow.